Recently, an insider warned Jeopardy host Ken Jennings to watch out because the new Wheel of Fortune host, Ryan Seacrest, is a direct threat. Even with Ken's tried and true experience on the show, the source thinks there is a need for him to keep a lookout for Ryan. Ken Jennings and mayim Bialik agreed to co-host Jeopardy after the late, great Alex Trebek, but that wasn't the original plan. Sony Television struggled to find the right successor for the job. Undeniably, they were stepping into the shoes of a TV giant. Likewise, Ryan Seacrest is also sliding into a legend's footsteps as he will take over for Pat Sajak now that he has retired from Wheel of Fortune. However, replacing Alex was grueling. After several guest hosts, the decision was that mayim and producer Mike Richards would take the baton from Alex. But the plan halts after Mike was canceled for online sexist remarks that resurfaced. Lucky for Ken, he got his break to score the position. Then, after the unusual writer's strike, mayim takes some time away from the show and then eventually is let go after her return. But the long journey still led to Ken securing his current hosting dream job. Although he is doing great, the path is not easy. An insider warns he needs to watch Ryan now that he is taking over Wheel of Fortune. Although Ken Jennings is honing the skills of his hosting job on Jeopardy, a Sony Television insider reports he shouldn't get too comfortable. As Ryan Seacrest begins his journey with Wheel of Fortune, the source says that Ken needs to watch out for Ryan. The source says, for decades, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy have been very evenly matched when it comes to ratings and popularity, but they actually draw two different audiences. Notably, they point out, the U.S. Jeopardy fans typically come from bigger cities, while Wheel pulls more from Middle America. But the insider foretells, now that both shows are going into this fall with their new hosts in place, that equilibrium is poised to be disrupted, and at Sony Television, you can feel the excitement as Ryan settles in and starts getting his first episodes as host. Undoubtedly, it is always about ratings, and the source wants Ken to be ready for the battle. Undeniably, the insider wants Ken Jennings to be ready to compete with Ryan Seacrest and his natural charisma. They add, he's bringing a sense of youth and urgency to the job that is a lot harder to pull off than it looks, and Wheel is bound to get a bump in the numbers once his episodes start running in September. Furthermore, the insider stresses that Ken shouldn't get lax because Ryan is a direct threat to him. They say, my advice to Ken is that just because mayim is out of the picture doesn't mean he shouldn't watch his back. Furthermore, the inside source boils it down to preparation of the fittest. Taking the Jeopardy audience for granted is the worst possible thing he could do right now, with Ryan poised to reinvent the Wheel franchise with his top 40 radio sensibility and unflappable optimism, the insider states. Additionally, they believe Ken needs to be sharp and on his game. They say in most media markets these shows run back-to-back, and Ken needs to make sure he doesn't suffer from the contrast with Ryan. However, they note that it is almost comparing apples and oranges with Ken and Ryan. They conclude, it's a tricky situation because their personalities are so radically different from one another. Only time will tell if the prediction for Ryan upsetting Jeopardy ratings are correct or not. What do you think? Will Ryan Seacrest upset the equilibrium of the competitive shows? Do you think Ken Jennings should be concerned? Does he need to watch his back? Are you ready for the new Wheel of Fortune? Do you enjoy Ken Jennings as the Jeopardy?